What's up YouTube, King Dennis here with one of my final updates. Today is October 27, 2012. My overwintered section right here. Some of them are air garden, some of them are container soil plants I got here. My one butch tea that just never got to give me any pods at all. I got one flower, but I don't think that'll last. Miracle fruit over here. This one's not looking too happy, as is with this one. But the good thing is they're alive, so they're not dead yet. This garden bed, I'm trying to get enrich and throw some compost in there to get it started, as is with this one. And when I deseeded some of the peppers the other day, I just, rather than toss the seeds that no one wanted, I went ahead and just tossed them in there and see what happens. Bishop's Crown, when I transferred it, was looking real good, but now it's looking real crappy, so put it in some shade, see what happens. Let's see. Chocolate Scorpion, I moved from this container to the smaller one. Ghost pepper here. I guess I'll just probably chop this up due to the virus that I had. Manzano right here. You can see this node is starting to turn yellow, so we'll see what happens with that one. I might just cut it. This one on this side is still thriving. Another miracle fruit. Not looking too happy. I guess I'm not doing something right, but if you do notice this little guy right here, hopefully it will fruit up if I can get it to focus. There we go. That's the best I could do. So hopefully that'll fruit up and I'll get a miracle fruit. Caribbean Red and 7-pot Jonah. I don't think this one's gonna pot up for me. Unknown multicolor. See all the flowers and the buds going on right now. Couple pods. We'll see what happens with this one. Lost the tag on this one, but it's starting to bounce back up real quick. My ahi limon have yet to get a pot on this one as well. Go up here in my in-grounds. They did well for me. This side gets like maybe about 8 hours of direct sun, so they got stressed out. This garden bed did nothing for me right here. That's pretty much as big as they got. Eggplants are trying to bounce back up after I chopped them all off. Manzano and Scotch bonnet, and again right here is my ghost pepper. I got maybe 20 or 30 pods off of this one. This one is a late bloomer. Don't know what this one is. Caribbean Red perhaps of some sort. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the shape turns out and the color. Maybe someone can ID them. You know, everything starts to grow pretty much the same, and then somehow it'll start changing. Jalapenos, got some more there. My Jamaican hot yellows, mushrooms. I don't know, you guys, I've gotten pods from you guys, and they start off yellow and then they turn orange when they ripen. But mine, they start off like this already. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to be red, but they're orange. You can see right here, they're orange. So maybe a different kind of mushrooms. But I have, again, this is a late bloomer, and this one has maybe about 15 more pods or so, and maybe these guys can pot up some more. My Nagamorich was one of my most prolific ones, aside my 7-pot yellow, and you can see there's still tons of buds on there, maybe 50 to 100. And but as far as growth, they got really stunted in pod size. You can see this round shape, bumpy looking pod. I like this guy. Scary. But these are my other ghost peppers, and really varied in pod shape. As far as the picture shows, this is pretty much your picture perfect pod, but I've gotten really ugly looking pods like this sometimes, where it's smooth and not bumpy at all. But yeah, I got a few more growing in these guys. So jalapenos right there, and some container plants that I just threw in here to fill the void. So as it gets colder, I'm going to go ahead and put some plastic tarp on here. More ghost. My not Trinidad scorpion starting to show new growth. 7-pot large was my prolific in the beginning, but then the problem was they all started producing all at the same time, so it stopped once they stopped. But you can see there's some more. Hopefully I can get to pot up. You go over here. This section is my overwintered. I know living in Southern California, I should have been able to have a longer season, but with all the problems I had, I just said, you know what, let me chop it off. Jamaican hot yellow, a couple flowers here and there. But these guys are pretty much ready for the winter. If it stays warmer and they start growing, hey, why not? I'll take it. But a few of these guys just never had the chance to even pot up for me. So Butch T. Douglas cross, and these are my Scotch bonnet Aero Gardens. Another one I dealt with inside, which was a pain in the butt, was aphids. I had these guys hardening out here and put them back inside, and they instead of hardening, they got consumed with aphids, and I wasn't aware of it, and they infected the rest of the Aero Garden. But some of these guys just didn't produce, and some produced just enough for the first year. But again, this was my first year of growing. I think I did fairly well. I wish I could have done better with the amount of plants I had. But again, I started off with crappy soil. So when you have crappy stuff, you'll have crappy production. But this one still got some buds there. Forgot which one that one was. We'll see. Jamaican yellow, hot yellows, mushrooms. And then one quick review. These are my Julie mangoes I got from the Roster Rick from YouTube. It's looking good. And all these guys are my fruits here in the backyard. And gigantic loquat tree, and some nectarines and persimmons and Asian pears and bananas. This gigantic apple tree is trying to produce a third batch. Behind it is some pomegranates, more apples, and avocado. Had a lot, but with the extreme heat we had here in Southern California this summer, a lot of them dropped as well. Goji berry over here, trying to get it to produce maybe a few so I can taste it. Bitter melon right there. This one is the grapefruit. This one is also pretty much year round, as is with this calamansi / kumquat plant. So it produces all year for us. And then over here you can see is our guava tree. Didn't do too well. The heat just again didn't get these guys to grow that much, and you can see that there's a few just laying on the floor. So more guava trees right here, and another one there, and another one back there, and our orange tree right here. So that's my backyard. Thank you for following me, watching. Hopefully better. Next year I'll have a better season and try to experiment with some new stuff. And right here, this is grub my grub farm. These were the ones that were my enemies and consumed everything I had, pretty much, and were my problem childs. And I watched a YouTube video, and watching these guys compost and eat everything quicker than usual. So we'll see what happens if I can get these guys to break down all this stuff. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, YouTube.